Welcome. This is Penny, and today we're going to talk about holiday wellness. Holiday wellness, small choices for lasting impact. Hi, I'm Penny, also known as Plant Based Penny. I help people move from problems to progress with plant based and natural solutions. And so today's topic is really dear to me because it is personal, and these holiday wellness tips are going to be something that I do hope work for you as well. But I am going to first, because some of you may not know me as well as others, I am going to first share with you my intro. So stay tuned. I'll be right back in 50 seconds. Wonderful. Welcome back. This is the War on Wellness broadcast, is what I call this broadcast. And today's topic, we're talking about holiday wellness, small choices with a lasting impact. So, good evening, everyone. Thank you for being here. And I have a personal moment that I want to share on how I approach wellness, especially during the holidays. The holidays can be a challenging time for a lot of us. And so I have a personal story to share with you. So one Christmas, I was living, well, I was living in North Carolina, and I came home to Virginia for the holidays, and nobody was answering the phone. And so for that period of time, I just figured that they were busy, nobody was near their phone. So I finally got home 3.5 hours later. On the door was a handwritten note that said, Ambulance, Dad, Hospital. So, of course, my heart sank when I read that. So, that year we did celebrate Christmas in the hospital with my father. However, not long after that, at the age of 57, he succumbed to a massive heart attack and he passed away. High blood pressure played a major role in his health, and we knew it for many years, but we did not have the education, the knowledge of, uh, other than the doctor saying, don't eat too much salt. So, chronic conditions run in my family. Raise your hand, give me a thumbs up if chronic conditions also run in your family. But family history does not have to be your life sentence. Say it with me. Family history does not have to be my life sentence. So I'm going to tell you or share with you and about 5 tips that I have that help me stay well, and I want to share those with you. So I want to make sure that everybody is in the room and make sure that, yes, I have Facebook here, I have Instagram here, and also I have YouTube. Okay, very good. I have everybody here, and I am going to share these tips with you. So whenever you're vulnerable and you're sharing something personal, you get a little nervous of it. So thank you for bearing with me on that. So I have a question for you first. When you think of your family history, what condition comes to mind? When you think of your family health history specifically, what condition comes to mind? Is it we all are runners, we're very athletic? heart disease, diabetes, something else? Answer in the comments and I will look for those responses. So, 5 simple holiday wellness practices. And one is, in the Bible it says that simple things confound the wise, but sometimes it's the simple things that help us. And one, the number one thing that I use is drinking water before or in between, not during meals. So drinking water before or in between meals helps me. And holidays are full of salty food, of sugary food, of fatty food. And that's part of at least in my culture, it's part of the holidays. We celebrate around food, perhaps in your culture as well. But water is going to help manage that sodium intake, is going to support the digestion of the food that you're consuming, which may be a little bit more than you consume on a regular basis. It's also going to help prevent overeating. So if you're drinking water a half hour before your meal, an hour or more after your meal, that water is going to help with your satiation, with you feeling full, with you not feeling completely empty, because sometimes we eat because we are thirsty or because we're tired or because we're bored. But thirsty is a big one. Sometimes we eat because we're thirsty and when we really need water. So, research does show that drinking water before meals can reduce your caloric intake and support your heart health. So, that's something that's very important to me. Second point is to prioritize fiber at just about every meal. So you want to have something that's not like overly processed. The only thing that you're eating is over processed. You're eating a gray plate or a brown plate, and that brown is not lentils or beans or anything like that. So vegetables, beans, fruits, whole grains, fiber, that's going to all help stabilize our blood sugar. Diabetes is another thing that runs in my family. It's going to support great positive cholesterol levels. So high fiber intake. Fiber intake is linked to lowering the risk of heart disease and lowering the risk of diabetes. So number 3, the third tip that I use for my holiday wellness, small choices, lasting impact. The third one is moving after meal. Now, this one I can do a little bit better on, but I did purchase a vibration plate and I have been using it. And so, even if you're moving, you don't have a vibration plate, fine. Even if you move, if you have a rebounder or you can just walk, you can walk around your house, but you have to do it for 10 or 15 minutes. Or you can go outside and walk. I know it's cold, but a nice brisk walk is going to warm you up. So, studies show that walking after meal does lower the blood sugar levels. That is a fact. And that was one of the things that we taught in the diabetes class that we held earlier this year with the health team at my church. So, walking after meal is going to support digestion, circulation, and blood sugar balance. The fourth tip that I have for you is to protect your sleep. And we're talking about holiday wellness. And in our holiday wellness, we're making small changes, small choices for a lasting impact. And this is a lasting impact for you and for the legacy that you leave behind. So, whoever it is that you might be leaving behind, what are they going to think of when they think about you and your health? What are they going to remember about you and your health? So it's very important that we can't be selfish and only think about ourselves, because at some point we're going to be gone. and we want to leave a positive, lasting impact. So the fourth tip is protecting your sleep. Poor sleep increases the craving for salty food and for sugary foods. Poor sleep increases the craving for salty food and sugary foods. So you might be saying, well, I have a craving. I got to eat this food because I just really crave it so much. It could be linked back to improper or not enough sleep. So you might want to look at, and that's why I talk with my clients and to groups that I speak with about the holistic method of healing. It's not just a diet. It's not just one portion of it. It's not just exercise, 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 exercise for so many hours a day. No, you have to look at it holistically if you want sustainable changes. So, protecting your sleep is also about the fact that sleep supports your proper and healthy blood pressure, again, heart health, and it also affects your immune health. Yeah, and we are in the season now where viruses are everywhere and we're in close quarters. And sometimes, we're around a lot more people, whether we're out in the retail stores or more people come to church over the holidays. There are more family gatherings over the holidays. And so, proper sleep, getting enough sleep, and making sure that you're asleep way before 2 a.m. because your body's doing its healing process between 10 and 10 and 2, between those hours. So, you want to get to bed as close to 10, before 10 as possible. Even earlier is fine. So you want to protect your sleep. So research has linked sleep deprivation to increased hunger hormones and poor food choices. Again, I mentioned earlier that sometimes we are thirsty, bored, or sleepy, but we go and we reach for food in those situations. So the research shows that when we are tired, we're sleepy, or we don't get enough sleep, then we make poor food choices. So that is the fourth one. The fifth one is eating with intention, not restriction. Plant based planning is not saying to anyone that I want you to only eat lettuce during your family gatherings and over the holidays. No, that is not what I'm saying. We have to eat with intention, not restriction, because restrictive eating is not sustainable. Now, if for a period of time you fast or you leave something out of your diet, that's fine. But for years and years, it's not going to be sustainable for you. So we eat with intention, slow down. We want to slow down our eating. Chew your food. Grandma said, chew your food because she knew, she may not have known all the science backed and the evidence based data, but she knew that it was important to chew your food because if we don't masticate our food, then we will be passing the food whole and our bodies would not have had the opportunity to digest it properly, which means that we don't get the nutrients out of the food. Because a lot of people say, and I've had my clients say before, well, I'm eating the right things, I'm eating healthy. But are you masticating the food properly? Because digestion starts here. Starts here when you chew your food. So that's why healthy teeth and gums are necessary. And that's another part of the holistic method for being healthy. Slow down. You want to enjoy your food, taste your food, and notice when you are full. The noticing when you are full is for some people, especially those who might be obese or morbidly obese, that mechanism in their brain has been overridden so long that they don't recognize it anymore. And so for some people, it may require relearning when we are actually full. And so that is the fifth method of holiday wellness: small choices, lasting impact. Mindful eating is associated with improving your metabolic health and less emotional eating. I did a whole video on emotional eating, and so you can find that on my YouTube channel at Plant Based Penny. So, last question for you is: which of these feels most doable for you this week? Whether it's water, adding more fiber to your meals, walking or movement after you eat, proper sleep, or mindful eating. Which one of those is going to be most doable for you this week? So, my closing comment is that just because chronic disease runs in your family, it runs in my family, probably runs in your family too, does not mean that you have to take the same path. Small choices done consistently do matter. And these practices, they help me honor my father's legacy by choosing a healthier option and being aware and also intentional with the choices that I make. So, my hope is that not only do these tips and strategies help me, but that they can also help you as well. So I'm Penny, also known as Plant Based Penny. I help people move from problems to progress with plant based and natural solutions. And I do this through one on one consultations and speaking engagements. So I am booking for 2026. And thank you for all those that I am booked with and that I am currently in negotiations with. So thank you so much. And we will talk with you later. Bye bye.